All right, brothers and sisters, let's bring it in now. Education's that first battlefront, yeah? All over the country, you see parents stepping up, protesting at school boards, demanding to know what's actually being taught. And look, it's not just reading, writing, arithmetic anymore. We're talking about whether kids are getting, well, political ideology or lessons about gender that parents didn't sign off on. You know, it's funny. When I was a boy in Nigeria, my parents and every neighbor on the block would storm into those teacher meetings, demanding a say in what happened in the classroom. Back then, parents wouldn't just accept whatever the government handed down. And now, here in the States, the America First folks, they're saying the same thing. Give us parental rights, transparency. Let's keep curriculum local and reflective of our values.
Chukwuka, I hear your point, but for a lot of families, especially immigrant or minority communities, involvement can be a lot harder. Language barriers, work schedules. Sometimes the loudest voices in these school debates don't actually reflect everyone. But there is a real concern about who shapes the values children are learning. For progressives, it's also about protecting minority kids, LGBTQ students, for example, making sure they're not erased, not just seen as an afterthought in these conversations about local control.
Let's jump on that, Olga. Transparency. Now that's something both sides seem to want, just for different reasons. From my time running drills, I'd always say, you gotta see the map before you plan the mission. Parents, especially in the America First camp, are pushing for curriculum reviews, open meetings, even recording what goes on in class. They see this as a way to guard tradition, stabilize the home front, so to speak. Read in the room, though, there's always someone who says, why are we teaching this new stuff? And someone else argues it's about including everyone, so it gets messy pretty quick.
I mean, Ethan, you nailed it. Local control is the whole operation here. HQ shouldn't dictate the ground game. Parents don't want to be surprised by ideology and math homework. If you ask me, this is America First at its core. Keep the feds out, let the folks decide. That's how morale stays up. That's how you avoid, well, chaos like Chukwuka mentioned back in Nigeria. But yeah, things get spicy at the school board meetings. It's not all neat and tidy.
Absolutely, Duke. Everybody wants some say, but somehow the whole debate's become, polarized. You've got people fighting over what's American values and whose kids are losing out, depending on who's louder. Let me just say, if you shut parents out or push stuff in secret, nobody's happy. And when you've lived on both sides of the ocean, you see, parents want that voice, no matter the language or the politics.
I want to swing us to a different front. Let's talk about what holds a platoon, or a whole country, together. Patriotism, the flag, the unit colors. Look, during deployments, especially those long nights overseas, what kept morale up wasn't just pay or command structure. It was raising that flag, singing the anthem in the chow hall, reminders of home and the folks you fight for. For the America First crew, that's more than nostalgia. It's a real play for unity. They feel like national pride is under siege, so you see more flag displays, parades, even historical reenactments, trying to repair what they think the culture's lost.
You got that right. Where I'm from, that's daily routine. Flags on the porch, veteran bumper stickers. It's not lip service. That appreciation for the military, if anything, it feels like the country's finally coming back to its senses after years of folks saying, well, America's nothing special. MAGA base, they push back. They want to show, hey, this country did a lot, and it deserves respect. If you talk to folks at VFW halls or church gatherings, same story. Pride, history, tradition.
But there's a flip side, too. Patriotism can unite, but it can also exclude. When movements push hard on national pride, sometimes minority or immigrant communities feel like they're left out, or worse, blamed for the changes people are reacting to. With faith communities, I've covered stories where those networks really did become support systems, especially during hard times, a hurricane, a loss, even helping refugees. But when faith is used as a weapon politically, it starts to feel less like grounding and more like gatekeeping, you know?
Olga, honestly, I see your point. But where I grew up, and even here, the church is what keeps people going when all else fails. It's not just about the sermons. It's where folks get fed, get looked after. The America First movement, for many, sees faith not only as religion, but as a way to build that backbone Duke's talking about. Shared purpose, shared struggle. Critics say it's about exclusion. Supporters say, look, survival starts with knowing where you stand. If you don't know your own house, how can you welcome others?
And to add to that, when things get rough, you see who the backbone of a community really is. In my unit, those bonds of faith and pride are what carried guys, well, and gals, through chaos, loss, and confusion. When identity's challenged, you double down on what's familiar. That's what the movement is channeling, sometimes for better, sometimes not so much.
Yep, it ain't always perfect, but that's the reality on the ground. Community counts, and it's what keeps folks from folding under pressure. Even if there's pushback, it just proves how central all this still is.
Let's keep rolling. We can't talk about culture wars anymore without talking about the digital side. These days, social media, online forums, even memes have almost as much impact as TV or the local preacher. But sometimes it isn't just dialogue, it's disinformation. I'm actually worried, honestly, that minority communities, immigrants, religious minorities, often get scapegoated in viral posts. I've seen real harm from online campaigns that claim to speak for the people, but wind up spreading fear, even hate. We're not just talking theory, it's daily life for so many out there.
Olga, cyberspace is wild. I'll give you that. The movement's very savvy online, using jokes, stories, even outrage to rally people fast. But it's a double-edged sword. Grassroots campaigns explode overnight, yet the same tech can fire up division in 5 seconds. When you've got deep frustration on the ground, these stories online, true or not, get picked up, passed around, and suddenly, that's the entire narrative. And once something's out there, good luck walking it back.
You see it in organizing, too. Platforms let folks plug in from hundreds of miles away, get the mission moving, so to speak. But man, the spread of misinformation, it's a security risk, honestly. As we said in previous episodes, think about that Supreme Court discussion. How quick rumors or emergency decisions fly across social platforms, shifting perceptions in minutes. It amplifies both unity and outrage, and nobody's running point on accuracy anymore.
Can't ignore that, Ethan. The memes, the hashtag armies, that's the new boots on the ground. But it also makes it easy for grifters, bad actors, whoever, to hijack the flag, twist things for clicks. Lessons learned. Trust has got to come from your own circle, your own intel. But yeah, if you want to move the base, or frankly scare them, there's nothing more effective than social media right now.
And for anyone listening, just remember it's not just a spectacle. The digital front lines affect real people, jobs, reputations, even safety. We have to take seriously the consequences, not just the culture war game.
That's true, Olga. At the end of the day, the culture wars, no matter the front, boil down to who gets the last word on what America is, who counts, who belongs. Digital or old school, these fights shape everything. Schools, faith, even how we talk to neighbors. But look, this isn't the last word, not by a long shot.
Not even close. Next week, we're diving into how these battles play out on the electoral map, folks. Stakes get even higher when ballots hit the table. This was good. Appreciate all the straight talk, even if we butt heads sometimes.
You got it, Major. Always good to hold the line together, even if the foxholes look different. Olga, Chukwuka, catch you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Stay aware out there, digital and otherwise. See you next episode.
All right, folks, till next time, this is the New Sentinel. Stay vigilant. God bless.